Yo, it's about that time. I can confidently say it is about that time. Now, you may be asking yourself, Cold City Neil, what time is it? What are you talking about? What time is it? You gotta relax. Just wait. I believe we are super close to Usopp time. You heard it right, Usopp time. I think we can say that Egghead is like 100% wrapped up. Maybe not up, maybe like 98, 99, but I mean, it's finished for sure. So, now we're on the way to ELBAF. If you're anything like me, then you're super hyped for ELBAF. I mean, who isn't? I mean, as a One Piece fan, who isn't hyped for ELBAF? We've heard about ELBAF hundreds and hundreds of chapters ago. I mean, all the way back to Little Garden. There are many things that are going to play a part in ELBAF. You know, we have Nicolor, we have Giants, we have, the whole thing with them, maybe even some of Big Mom, but there is nothing more I'm hyped about than Usopp hype. This will be the year for Usopp, mark my words. I would say out of all the Straw Hats, he falls on the latter end of, since post-time skip, he hasn't gotten too much shine. Now, I get it. With the main cast as big as the Straw Hats, and then on top of that, an even greater cast as big as the One Piece in general, it can be hard for everyone to get their due shine. Now, alright, I'm not one of those guys who think Oda just does certain characters dirty or just ignores them. I think he kind of plans everything to, flow in a certain direction. That will be the case with Usopp. ELBAF was first mentioned in chapter 115. Since around that time, it's been Usopp's dream to go to ELBAF. There are a few things we can expect when it comes to Usopp when we get to ELBAF. One, I think he will play a huge role within the actual arc and story of ELBAF. Mainly because there has been tons of setup when it comes to this being Usopp's arc. This can be kind of in correlation to like Sanji with Whole Cake and what people thought Zoro would be to Wano. When it comes to Giants in One Piece, as far as the fandom goes, Usopp is synonymous with Giants. He considers two of the most legendary Giants to be his masters. Clearly, Dory and Bragi are most likely not the strongest Giants, but I guarantee you they definitely hold some type of high ranking or have a high status. On top of that, he's good with Waymo, Kashi, and even he's good with the boy Haruden, who I will remind you is the leader of the new Giant Warrior Pirates. Like, he has pull of some sort. Either way, there is no way that Usopp is not integral or important to the upcoming arc of ELBAF. No way. I can see this being the arc where Usopp finally steps into his own as a Straw Hat member. Not saying he's not a Straw Hat, clearly he is, but as far as stepping down and being on 10 toes, like, he's here. Now, by no means do I ever think he will stop being like the quote-unquote coward or like scary one of the group, because, I mean, he plays an important role in that dynamic of the group. He's the human / heart and soul of the Straw Hat Pirates. Like, he represents every single one of us as readers. If I was on a ship with a guy who can stretch his arms and legs like crazy, with the dude who can turn his damn feet on fire, with the reindeer who can transform into some human hybrid monster, with a guy with 3 swords who can literally cut anything, and I just have a goddamn kabuto, aka a slingshot, yeah, I'd be freaking out too. With all that being said, he can still become a brave warrior of the sea, and I'll tell you why. The thing is, people misconstrue cowardice and bravery. They are not two things that are mutually exclusive or things on the opposite end of a spectrum. Some seem to think that if you're a coward, you can't be brave, or if you're brave, you can't be afraid. That's not true at all. Bravery is being afraid of something or having deepful fears of something, and thus still being able to overcome them and do what you set out to do. Usopp is not useless by any stretch of the imagination. I believe that was a big thing that was tackled all the way back in Enies Lobby, but at the same time, he can, be more useful or add more arsenal. Another thing is, I think we will definitely see a Usopp Hockey Bloom in ELBAF. Out of every Straw Hat, he honestly needs it the most. Like, absolutely. Without a Hockey Bloom, a Devil Fruit, or even some type of crazy upgraded weapon or gun, I don't see him being able to compete with any high-level sniper. Not his father, not Van Augur, like, not at all. He's going to need something that's going to bridge that gap. We have his father, who's just already like a goated sniper, and I don't think he has any devil fruit. Like, he doesn't have one. He just most likely has an insane level of hockey and skill. Then we have Van Augur, who was already a great marksman and sniper in his own right, but now he has a devil fruit that just takes it to the next level. And I mean, if he's to face Usopp in the final, face-off between the Blackbeard Pirates and the Straw Hats, Usopp is going to need something else. He's going to have to either train or push his observation hockey levels way above what they are now. We haven't really seen him use it much since Dressrosa, but I do believe it should have grown at least a little bit. I could see him being able to gain future sight, so when fighting Van Augur, he can maybe see where he's going to warp, or even able to be like Neji and Naruto, where he can like sense anything that comes within a certain radius of him. Like, that'd be dope. Now, that's not a stretch of the imagination, Usopp being able to sharpen his observation hockey and take it to the next level. The thing that everyone kind of gets kind of iffy about is, well, if he'll get conquerors. Now, me personally, I'm not someone who necessarily wants him to get it or doesn't want him to get it. If he get it, he get it. If he don't, he don't. But I could kind of see him getting it. For better or worse, when it comes to Usopp from day one, you can always say he wanted to be his own man. Like, that was his goal when it came to himself. Like, he wanted to be his own guy. Now, that clearly changed once he accepted Luffy as his captain, but that doesn't change the essence of it in general. I could definitely see him unlocking some form of conqueror hockey when it comes to him stepping into his role as a brave warrior of the sea. Maybe it's a defining moment where he stands up to Loki or someone else or something like that, but you never know how Oda will kind of like write something into the story, but I can definitely see it happening. There's already been a couple times in the story where it's kind of been played around like he was using conquerors when we know in the story he wasn't, but we do know that Oda loves to do his little hints. Just like with Zoro, how there were a couple times where, people thought, is he using conquerors? Can he use conquerors? And in hindsight, it clearly was Oda leaving breadcrumbs, but we didn't know it at the time until it was finally confirmed. At the end of the day, I just think that Oda definitely has something big for Usopp planned. It only makes sense. Usopp is not only a fan favorite, but he's a favorite of Oda. And I mean, for the story, Usopp does need to get stronger. I think it only makes sense. He's on a Yonko crew, but at the same time, I wouldn't put him like strength-wise really up against anybody else from a Yonko crew. He's strong, but he has a lot that he can improve upon and like many levels he can go up. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts? Do you think Usopp will get conquered? Do you think his observation will be like, what do you think about Usopp right now? Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. And again, stay cold.